The following is a paid program. The advice and opinions expressed on the program are solely that of the City of Horicon and the Horicon School District, not necessarily WBEV or Good Karma Brands. Welcome in, everybody, to Taking Care of Business today, Marsh Talk. And, of course, we welcome in Mayor Josh Moss and Katie Schwartz, Superintendent with the Horicon School District. Glad you guys made it in. Obviously, the weather is slightly better today than it was the past couple of days. I know we were kind of chatting a little bit before the show got started, commiserating, if you will, over the weather. How was it in Horicon for you guys?
Well, I think everybody saw the school announcements coming in. I was getting lots of texts throughout Sunday. It's always better to be safe than sorry when we have weather that's coming in that makes it difficult for our families to travel in. So one of the biggest things I wanted to say today is a huge kudos out to all of our guys on our custodial staff who worked long hours to make sure that the campus was ready for return. Ryan Bergeron and his staff, Rick Herbst, James Kirchhoff, and Andy Bloom, they just did a fantastic job. And I also want to give a shout out. I know Mayor will do this too, but the City of Horicon staff for cleaning up the way they did. It was incredibly well done.
Now, I have to ask, not to put you on the spot, but when it comes to school closings, your previous superintendent, he would often say, well, I defer to whatever Mark DiStefano does.
Yeah.
Of course, Mark D would say, I refer to whatever Rich Apple does. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Beaver Dam on spring break this week, so no point to even ask Mark.
Mark could just throw his hands in the air on this one.
So I don't know if you're following the same philosophy where you guys are blaming each other, but how is it you guys make the decision? Like, what comes into play for that, for people who don't know?
There is a lot of collaboration among the superintendents in the area, and of course, we're all looking for our own district, but also we've got people traveling in between each of these communities to come to work, and our kids are moving around. So we do have group chats that are going on, and the call on Monday was a pretty big slam dunk for all of us, particularly when the blizzard warning hit. That one was pretty easy. Tuesday morning, we had some individual calls to make as districts in terms of whether or not we were delaying. We had a few districts north of us cancel. But we are always in communication with each other as that's going on.
And obviously the goal is to be open as much as possible to get those kids in there, get that learning going on. Yeah. When you guys are having those discussions about closing the school down, is there any point in time where you guys are saying, well, can we do a virtual day? Or is it much easier just to go old school and be like, nope, let them go play in the snow and have a good time?
In Horicon, we go old school. Our elementary kids are not one-to-one. We're close to one-to-one, but we can't just call a virtual day.
Right.
And so I know every district is a little bit different with that regard, but when we call it, we're going old school.
I love the old school. It's a great reason. I mean, my kids were out throwing snowballs and having a good time, and I couldn't argue. I was out there with them.
And, you have to admit, there's nothing like a snow day.
There is nothing like a snow day.
Even for adults, there's nothing like a snow day.
I'm sure you guys can imagine, for the little bit I was out and about, every time I saw like a kid trying to slide down that little hill that the snowplow left next to the driveway or whatever, you're just like, aw, like that's great.
Yeah.
You love it.
And the best part about this too, I do come into work on those days. I worked from home for a little while I could not get out of my driveway. But it is nice to see kids outside playing. But this time of year, there's also a light at the end of the tunnel because that snow is not sticking around long. I was teasing the guys that they probably needed to go work on the baseball and softball fields because those practices are underway also. But we'll wait for the sun to do its job on that one.
Use the brightly colored softballs when they're out there. That would be a good idea. Before we continue on, I want to remind everybody why we do this show and what the importance of this show is and why we bring you guys on. Obviously, we see you once a month during the school year, essentially, and we talk about everything happening in the city of Horicon. We talk about everything happening with the school district to kind of get that information out. Can you guys explain the importance and the impact of this show for you guys?
Good.
Well, I think the biggest impact is our opportunity to share news, good, bad, or indifferent, with the community, and that way everybody hears it from us first. It's a great opportunity to celebrate and also shed light on the really great things that are going on and the people that we serve and the people who work to serve others as well. And it's been great for both of us between the city and the school district, and then the Marsh Area Chamber of Commerce supports us as well as the Marshman Foundation. That helps us to get the word out to everyone around. Just make sure that you know what's going on.
Yeah, and I agree with something you said right at the beginning there. This is a really good way to hear everything first person because, especially in a town the size of ours, 3,700 to 4,000 people, rumors can fly pretty quick or assumptions can take root. And when you hear it directly from us, I believe this is probably going to be the best source. So that's one of the things that's great. And plus, like Katie said, our sponsors, we're not only talking about the things we're doing, we're talking about the events in our city, things that are going great, but also hearing directly from us the things that are coming up that aren't necessarily all that popular. Usually that's me, not her. I get all the bad news, but yeah, it's very helpful. And if I can take a chance just to thank our guys too.
Oh yeah, by all means.
Our DPW and utility guys were freaking great. I really honestly believe every time we have a snowstorm, our guys are out pounding the hardest. It's Cody. Cody's the utilities and DPW director. Rich is the foreman of the DPW. You got Scotty, Ryan, Mike. They all just pound Joe. Joe, our mechanic. And then utilities, Noah's the foreman. We got John, Josh, and Matt. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I think I got everyone. But they are just out there. And it was great when I was driving through town this morning. I saw them all together as a big team eating breakfast at Mother's Day. They deserved it. I really hope someone picked up their bill. I also want to thank all the people I saw in town with their UTVs, with plows, with their Bobcats, helping get neighbors' driveways open. Like similar to what you saw in Columbus, it was happening in Horicon. I didn't see everybody, but I saw in our neighborhood, Ryan Metzdorf, Brandon Hull, they're opening up driveways. Thank you, because that snow was ridiculous. It was heavy. It was salted. It was wet. And you guys did a huge service to your city and to your neighbors, so thank you.
I can definitely echo that. And I want to add on a little bit. You guys said good, bad, or indifferent is what brings you guys on. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes we hear the bad and the rumors and things in the back, back hall discussions people having. We hear about the good usually because people just try and tout the good, especially people in leadership positions like yourself. Mm-hmm. They don't always like to touch on the stuff that could be seen as negative or bad. And I appreciate that you guys come on and do a little bit of both.
Well, and I think there's a certain amount of this that allows us to be more present for our community too. And I certainly want to be approachable. I know Josh does too. I would much rather have a conversation with somebody who has a concern. So if we can start that here and then people know how to get a hold of us, it would, I'd very much entertain those opportunities to have those conversations with community members.
Well, let's go and kick off the conversation today. We're going to switch things up a little bit and start on the school district side. So, Katie, why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown? What's going on?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I'm going to start. Last time I had guests here from our musical, the Lightning Thief.
Yes.
Percy Jackson. They did a great job on the air. And also their performance was last weekend.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. And unfortunately, first of all, it was fantastic. They did an incredible job. But unfortunately, Sunday's event, we had to close down because the ice just kind of came over the city. And I'm really excited to say that we have rescheduled that for Thursday night at 7 p.m. Some people have reached out to us to ask about refunds for the tickets they did purchase for Sunday's event. They can call the school office for that. But we are just thrilled that we're able to offer the third performance to the community on Thursday night.
Right. I think that's as important for the community to get a chance to see as it is for the kids to really get that chance to perform. They put a lot of hard work in.
They absolutely do. And, you think of it in terms of, we talk a lot about athletics and our teams that way. They have chances to practice for a few nights and then perform at their game. And then you get some more practice and then you perform again. Right. In the case of a play or a musical, they practice for 2-3 months, maybe even 4. I don't remember how long it is. And then they have 3 opportunities for their performance.
Right.
And so when one of those 3 goes down, that's a significant just hit for their opportunities to share. So we're excited that they get that third performance in.
That is really awesome.
Yes. Many of our students continue to represent us really well. I'd like to give a shout out to Holly S., Delaney F., Basil C., Matthew Z., and team captain Owen W. They proudly represented Horicon by competing in the Department of Energy Regional Science Bowl at UW-Madison Chemistry Department. That was on February 21st. They did a really incredible job, and many of those kids are on multiple teams, Science Olympiad, band, chorus. They're all over the place, and we're really proud of them for representing us so well. Some of those kids also represented our team at the WSMA District Solo and Ensemble Festival as well on February 28th. The kids who earned 1-star ratings and will continue on Saturday, April 25th, include Rihanna C., Mary G., Denny G., Maggie M., and Elaine B., all from choir, and we saw 3 of them last month here on the show, and then Owen W. in band. So kudos to those kids for representing us well at the State Solo and Ensemble Festival, and certainly we wish them the best.
Well, I can't speak for everybody on that list, but for the 3 who are making it through for choir, they did a great job on the show.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
What's fun is, at overtime, all of our kids, and regardless of what they're participating in, our extracurricular rates are really high. We know that kids who participate in things outside of academics do better in school, and having watched them build their friendships over time is something that's really special. So by the time that they graduate, they've made some incredible connections with their peers, and things just work really well for them. So I'm very proud of them.
That's awesome.
With our littles, we actually, in February, we held a family reading night at the elementary school.
Yeah.
Students and their loved ones were able to enjoy some hands-on activities. They shared a delicious dinner together. I believe we had grilled cheese and tomato soup. It was a very comforting night for a literacy night. And we're treated to some lively storytelling and drama performances by First Stage. So kudos to our team who put that together, Tara Bamer, Michaela Daney, Lisa Sawyer at the elementary school as the principal. Just a huge kudos to them for providing those opportunities for our little ones to get together and celebrate reading. So...
Big fan of the story time. My go-to book is the Ninja Bread Man.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fun little take on this classic story.
Perfect.
Let's check it out.
Our academic bowl was back in action, and I'd like to highlight Elizabeth Brown, who was our 2-time defending conference champion with first place in all conference for her performance. The Academic Bowl took place in Princeton on March 2nd, and we had quite a few kids perform really, really well there. But congrats to Elizabeth, the 2-time defending conference champion. So super proud of her, and she's a very talented young lady all around. So great job to her.
Well done.
Our math team recently performed I think they were in Green Lake, and I'd like to give kudos to senior Holly Stam for first place in the advanced math individual test. So that's great as well. FFA week was wrapped up. We had a nice assembly last week as well, or 2 weeks ago, in the National Honor Society as well. We've had lots of fun dress-up days, and Sergeant Stocks, we've talked about him before as our SRO. He was able to kiss a calf for FFA week. That was quite the opportunity. And last week, several of us, including me, got to pie some of our senior boys in front of the student body as well. So
I'm assuming there's maybe
kind of
photos
exciting.
or video or clips or something out there
I
people
have
can
a
find.
video. I don't know what was shared broadly, but I'll keep that forever. That
Okay.
was quite exciting.
I like it.
So.
I like it.
You probably saw in the news as well, we had Keeley Hall was one of our juniors who represented us at the state wrestling tournament. Very proud of Keeley and all of her work. And congratulations also to her coaches, Jacob Borkowski and Joe Kern. Just the leadership and support that all of our coaches provide, and especially those when kids make it to state, that's an extra commitment and an extra source of pride for us. So congratulations to all of them for all of their hard work as well. It is the time of year for state testing.
Yeah, that's
your
one of
kids
those
been talking
bad.
about it?
Yeah, the
I
kids
know.
they hate it, and I remember we didn't like it as kids either. I'm sure, but it's an important important benchmark and a scale to look at what's going on.
It's a snapshot in time of where all of our students are. And earlier in this year, I've been talking about our theme this year was Together We Grow. And so what we are really focused on is ensuring that all of our students can grow academically, behaviorally, socially. And those tests are one of the ways that not only we can measure that, but the state measures us as well. So to get that started last week, there were recently pictures posted. Our elementary school held their Rock the Test assembly, and all across the school we celebrate. They had the band came in and played in the hallways for the kids. They had a dress like a rock star dress up day. And then each of our groups, our littler kids, kindergarten through second grade and 4K, had notes of encouragement for the kids who are taking the test. That's third through eighth grade.
Right.
And in the elementary school, third through fifth. So they had their notes of encouragement. And then each of the kids also had the third through fifth grade groups had different strategies that they shared in front of the whole student body for how they were going to do well on the test. So wishing them all the best of luck. I know testing groups have already started, and that Ford exam window is about a month long. So it, of course, got delayed by a snow day the first time around here. But well, we're really excited to see where the kids go. Our juniors took the ACT on March 10th already, so that one's under the belt, and they can say that's completed. And 9th and 10th grade will take the pre-ACT in early April. So looking forward to their performances. I'm sure they're not looking forward to it, but I am. So looking forward to seeing all the hard work, not just that the kids put in, but that the teachers put into preparing them for that as well.
Absolutely.
Summer school is upon us, despite what the snow looks like outside.
I would say I love the word summer. Summer school is always kind of a scary thought. I think for me, it's harkening back to that means you didn't do so well during the year. You got to do some catch up. But summer school's kind of changed a little bit.
It has changed. We do offer credit recovery options for our high schoolers, but by and large, most of our classes are exciting in nature. We want to provide those opportunities for kids in the summer. We do want to encourage them to take any of the support classes they might need as well, but we have a huge offering of classes that run anywhere from some of our cooking classes are the most favorite.
There you go.
A fishing class where kids can go fishing. We offer driver's education for our 9th and 10th graders who need driver's education. All of those opportunities are up for grabs, and we're really excited about that. The registration window is open now, and people can register online. There's a link on our website, and the deadline is May 1st for elementary school, and then May 18th for high school as well. And May 16th is coming up as graduation day. So just something for us to keep on the horizon. I know our seniors are keyed in on that day pretty well, but that day is quickly approaching for graduation. So, but before graduation, we'll also celebrate prom on April 25th. So I'm sure our junior class and all of those are excited to be working toward that as well. We are also hiring. So I recently announced some of the retirements that we've had, and I'll highlight all of our retirees in May. But we currently have openings for a grade 4 teacher for next year, a speech and language pathologist. I believe it will be grade 7 and 8 English language arts. That one is not posted yet, but that'll be coming up soon. And the application windows have closed, but we are soon to be interviewing for that 6th through 12th grade athletic director, assistant principal position, varsity football, and both of our elementary and middle school, high school admin assistant roles. The response we've had from our openings is incredible, and we have some difficult choices ahead of us, but I'm really excited to see who the newest Marshmen and Marsh ladies will be in those capacities.
There you go. The more choices you have, the harder it is sometimes.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly right.
I don't envy you.
We've been really blessed with an incredible amount of support and interest in those positions. So, Scholarship and Awards Night is coming up on May 6th, and I'll be able to highlight those when we meet also after May 6th. The support from our community for scholarships is absolutely incredible in what gets given back to the students on their next leg of their journey. And our spring sports are kicking off mostly inside right now.
Right.
Track, baseball, softball, golf will start next week. I think it's next week or the week after.
Once they dig out the holes.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be excited to get those events up and running, but for now, we're kind of in this lull until they start competing. And believe it or not, this Friday is the end of the third quarter of school already for HorCon. So we have an early release on Friday, and then kids and staff are on spring break next week. So we really look forward to that opportunity for everybody to recharge a little bit. But first, tomorrow we will have community coffee with me at 8:30 in the morning in our district boardroom. So I invite all of our community members to attend, see some student performances, and hear a little bit from me as well.
I love it. The whole idea that spring sports are starting, already going into the fourth quarter. For me as a kid, I remember that was an exciting time. As a senior, it was especially exciting, knowing graduation's on the horizon.
A little more daylight outside.
A little more daylight. Yep. And it's great that spring break is next week because I think we're supposed to get almost to 60 this weekend at one point.
It's a great time to get started on spring
break.
Great
Time, yeah. But hopefully it'll be nice for everybody and we can see that snow melt.
I can assure that we will not call any snow days next week. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say that. If snow comes, we'll have to be looking out for the practices and things of that nature. But
that's true.
All classes are canceled next week. How's that sound?
That sounds great. It's official. You heard it here first, everybody. Awesome. Well, this means now it's time for us to pivot because we got to find out what's going on the city side of things. And so, Mayor, it's on you now.
Appreciate it. So I asked if, this time I could just kind of go over the highlights of really what we've all accomplished as a city in the last 4 years.
Yeah, let's do it.
And, we just kind of, looking back, because, we know what's coming up. We know the wastewater plant's coming up. We know what's coming up. We just have, we don't always talk about what we, not me, not I, what we, as, city government, from City Hall to our city employees, to our council and each of the little departments, maybe I didn't always talk about all of them and what they've all done. So I wanted to just take a chance and kind of talk about what we've all accomplished in the last 4 years because they're doing fantastic. And so is the city. So I just started out, I want to talk about some of the ordinances that we have, kind of updated in the last 4 years, even from a really basic one like allowing ATV and UTVs in our streets.
Which has been a popular one statewide.
HorCon's the birthplace of the modern UTV. That's where gators are.
Right.
That should have happened a long time ago. We have a chicken ordinance. If our fire chief is listening, he loves chickens. And there's a lot of other things like those ordinances. Not only that, but it was like an 8-year project to get our ordinances online, and we accomplished that. So we're pretty excited about that. I also want to talk a little bit about all the grants that we received in the last 4 years. We received 2 pretty significant ones from the county, to help finish our City View subdivision, and then we're going to be updating that downtown parking lot. I want to preface the grants discussion with, do I understand grants aren't free money? Yes. Do I understand that grants are our taxpayer money? Yes. But I think it's really important when we have these opportunities to go for these grants that money is coming back to our city. So our property taxes, even if we're paying them to the county or we're paying them to the state or we're paying them to the feds, if we can recoup as much of that money and bring it back to our city, why wouldn't we put that extra hour or 2 into an application?
Right.
We want that money coming back, so we're pretty excited. We got $1 million for the East Walnut construction. We received over $3 million for the wastewater treatment facilities, and then multiple. Both Bryce and I have both applied many times to get grants to improve different park equipment throughout our city. So in the last 4 years, just ballparking, maybe about $6-7 million in grants just for HorCon. And it's a little bit of effort. It takes time. It's a hell of a lot better than charging the taxpayers $6-7 million for these things.
That's a great way to look at it.
So we're pretty excited about that. I want to just highlight some of the new businesses that have come to town the last 4 years. Marine Park is the biggest, and they're going to be expanding out there. We were the city of Horicon was named their 2023 new partner of the year. And our relationship with Moraine Park is excellent. And we are excited that it's going to keep growing in the future. You know, Sunnyside Hatchery is coming to Horicon. Pretty excited about that. The updates and we have places to eat now. Blue Heron, The Spot, Sweet Chacha, Aranda's. All these things we didn't have, we had Blue Heron forever, but,
Right.
They reopened and now it's a really nice restaurant, cafe, coffee place. It looks excellent. And then, a couple other ones downtown like The Hive. Our salon is really awesome in town. So there's a lot of those, businesses that aren't the big ones, but they're thriving.
Right.
Metalcraft has a factory now in Horicon. You have Cobblestone Inn coming soon. And through our planning commission, there's a bunch of home-based businesses, that needed, say, a conditional use permit that have
Right.
popped up all over. So we're really excited on how all these new businesses are coming to town and they're thriving and there's room for more. And I want to talk a little bit about City Hall. So one of their biggest things in the last 4 years is getting those ordinances done. That getting ordinances online has saved a lot of phone calls. It makes them up to date because we send in the ordinance changes directly to the company that keeps our ordinances updated. So you can see our most current, ordinance online at any time. We've been going through in the last year, updating many of the processes to keep up with the modern municipal accounting principles. We definitely split the clerk and treasurer position in order to provide more checks and balances. Everyone can see what's happening in neighboring areas. So this way it gives more full-time attention to their duties and provides all those other eyeballs on each of these financial transactions, therefore making our audit much easier. And then, coming up, we're going to have additional updates and upgrades. Like we're going to be moving to the Badger Book system after this election. So there's a lot of things where we're making it, I hate saying more modern, but just more efficient downtown and using our staff time more wisely. With our DPW and utilities, our director was named the statewide 2024 Safety Professional of the Year.
It's big.
Yeah, you never would know because he would never tell anybody. He's not a bragger, but he's excellent. We've, in the last few years, upgraded much of our outdated equipment. We actually are getting a boom truck that goes high enough to change the lights on our baseball fields finally at Riverbend and Disher. So hopefully for our baseball teams and our softball teams that they can actually play on a much more lit surface, something that looks nice.
Safer.
Safer.
There you go.
It's always safety. As you probably saw in the last couple of days, we have put an extremely much more increased priority on clean, safe roads, parks, and public spaces. And those guys are excellent. And those guys right now are doing a lot of, outside of the, they kind of finished up winter cleanup and now they're restarting that again. But they're getting ready for spring. And a lot of that's the prep work for the new facility that's getting built right next to the old one down there. I wish I had an update on the rates. That's coming in April. It sounds like we almost have that all the way done.
I will touch on the clean, safe road thing and parks and public spaces. That's a year-round job. People think about it in the winter when it comes to clearing snow, whatever. But obviously, you have storms, you have debris, you've got lawns that need to be cleaned up. A lot of stuff that has to be done to maintain those spaces.
The work by that team during the 2 tornadoes that hit us, impeccable. They're just all pros, every one of them.
There you go.
Our library, I think we have one of the nicest, if not the nicest library in a city our size that I can imagine. It's just run right. Last night, my wife and I actually went to the gardening program that they had last night put on by UW Extension out of Juneau. It was excellent. And they do a lot of new innovative programming to get people to come in. Our very excellent library director is going to be retiring at the end of the month. She is a pro. And her number 2, it sounds like, is going to be stepping right in, and I think it's going to run just as smooth as it has for decades. It's
A former Horicon graduate, too.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
So that's awesome. So we like to keep our people in. That's great.
Marshman helping Marshman. I love it.
That's right.
Now we're going to talk about our police department. I'm going to start off by saying the chief just texted me, and he says SRO Sergeant Grayson Stocks kisses calves on his off time as well.
Jeez.
You got to have a hobby. I get it.
And that it sounds like Stocks' favorite hobby. So, and we also went from, we had a lot of turnover at the beginning to a couple years ago. Now we've had none in the last few years. We actually went to the same shift schedule that all of our neighboring departments are using, and it's given us better coverage, and it actually cuts down on our overtime. So kudos to the local police union. Very well done. It saved us a lot of time and money. We still have a lot of continuing support for our SRO from the city, school district, and residents. Our SRO is excellent, even if he kisses calves.
Because he kisses
Oh,
calves.
because he kisses
There you
calves.
It's for the children.
We're going to have
That's a level of kindness. We love it.
I don't even want to see my phone in a half hour. And one of the small things that we do as a city that they don't do in other cities our size, maybe because that's what I do kind of full time, is emergency management. So we actually emphasize it and the importance of it in our city. And it's easy to poo-poo until you need it. Mm-hmm. And I think in the aftermath of the tornadoes in 2025, we really saw the value of it. Warner was able to also get us some of that state assistance grant that allowed us to, pay for a lot of that overtime and the other costs that were occurred from the cleanup. And he's also facilitated multiple tabletops. We're going to be doing, I think, a full scale up at the school very soon here that gives the city actionable takeouts on what to improve on. So
Yeah.
we take that stuff seriously, the public safety in our city.
Can I expand on that just a
Sure.
moment? I'm really excited to be able to partner with emergency management to make sure that that happens at a time when no students are present in the building. But I think the opportunity for us to continue to partner in that way to make sure that our responding personnel know our building like the back of their hand is very important to me. So I'm excited that we have that opportunity to work together.
That's awesome.
We're excited too.
Yep.
Highlights another one of those great partnerships between the city and the school
It does
district.
and I will make sure that messaging comes out before that, so there's no reason for alarm on campus. We'll make sure that messaging is clear, and also, like I said, that no students or staff are present for that.
We're excited about that coming up. And then talking about our fire department, we've gone through the last, updating our equipment that rolls out, aerials, tankers, set us up for not only today, but should set us up for at least the near future. We're at the staffing levels requested by and desired by our fire department leadership. He has the team he wants. Everyone on there is at the level he desires, and they're a hell of a team. And we actually had a record level of calls this past year, so they're busy. A lot of that is obviously like the auto aids that we set up. Right. We help our neighbors. The neighbors help us. We're on a lot more MABUS cards than we've ever been before, so we're pretty excited about that. Our EMS, we're almost at full staffing levels for the first time in many years. And, we're exploring ways to see how we can have our EMS be a relevant hub, at least for the villages and the cities around us, for years to come. And, we have an election in a few weeks for, not only where I sit, but for half a council. So just making sure to remember to remind people in Horicon to get out and vote on April 7th. This is the last time you'll hear from us before then. So get out and vote. We've had a very large turnout of absentee ballots. The numbers for April are usually what we see in a November election. So that means a lot of people care about their city, and we care about them. So we're excited.
That's awesome. Following up on that a little bit, obviously, right now a lot of concern about voting and the processes and everything else. How does it work for Horicon? Do you have one centralized voting location for a city your size?
We only have one voting location at City Hall. We have two chief election officials, Alex Arvancic, who is our librarian, and Teresa Sawyer, who's on our City Hall staff. They are the chief and the deputy chief or co-chiefs. We've had a lot of people sign up to be elections poll workers. Mm-hmm. So many so that we actually are doing shifts.
Oh.
We never had that option before.
So usually the volunteers are there all day.
We have enough volunteers where some can come in the morning, some work the afternoon shift. Our DPW utilities folks love being down there. They love helping, so they take a lot of the afternoon shifts. The security, I don't know, I kind of work election security in my full-time job. Nothing's hooked up to the internet to begin with, right?
Right.
So that part we're not necessarily all that concerned about. And there are rules on who can provide security at something like that. But yeah, we have one spot. It's safe, it's secure, it's professionally well done. Just always want to remind people when we have our elections in Horicon, go in the back door. The front door is generally locked on those days, just so we have one main point of, I guess, ingress. You can always go out the front door, so there's, fire safety rules. There's plenty of egress, but just to make sure that lines flow smoothly, everyone please on April 7th, remember to use the back door.
There you go. I like it. And of course, election's always a big time. It says here, Horicon mayor up for election. Do you have opponents? Are there? I mean,
I do.
Can you share some information on that? Like, I'm not going to ask you to stump or anything for us, but
I don't want to stump because I don't want to put you in anything where you have to have that equal rights rule.
I fully understand.
Yeah, there's competition. There's competition on council seats too.
Right.
The whole point is just get out there and vote. If you like how everything's going, keep us on track. If you want change, if it's something you don't like, you know how elections work. But I'm not going to say anything good or bad about either of us. I think the people in town know. I don't know how to say it any way different than that.
There you go. And of course, we put a lot of trust in the people of Horicon because obviously they've picked some great people. It's a great district we've got there, be it political district or school district. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I love the collaboration that you guys have. I'm going to give a huge shout out again to the people who support you guys being here. Obviously, not just the school district and the city, but the Marshman Foundation, all of them. We love having you on because, of course, we love having you on. But at the same time, it's really, really important, especially for smaller communities where stuff can kind of fall by the wayside or people can forget to look at the important things that you guys highlight.
Well, and we also appreciate that there are lots of activities that go on in the community that make Horicon a great place that may or may not have anything to do with the two of us or what are the city hall. So the Marsh Area Chamber of Commerce, for example, 2 Easter bunny hunts or Easter egg hunts coming up, right? So those are taking place on March 28th in Mayville and on March 29th in Horicon. Those are huge events attended by people in the community that are supported by the organization that's supporting us in terms of the Marsh Area Chamber. They will have a golf outing on June 3rd. The Horicon Marshman Foundation is a huge outreach effort for us on behalf of the district, but it helps the community in terms of just getting the word out for us. Our big golf outing for that is coming up on August 15th, and I know the foundation is also seeking support for their legacy donors. There's always great work happening by lots of great people volunteering their time in the community. And I think that each of those opportunities help all of us to just see what a great place we live in.
I don't remember it feeling this much like a community as it's again now. Even the small businesses throughout town they have their events, or we can't ever forget all the stuff the Horicon Phoenix program does too.
Right.
And the Lions Club in Horicon. They do a lot of things. And they're not out there bragging about it or, trying to get all the attention in the world. They do it because they care. They do it because it's fun. And they do it because they're good at it. And, one of the things I wanted to bring up that I thought was really cool in the last couple months, and it's not really known in the whole city, is that all the ladies that work for the city, I don't care if they're on EMS or they work in the judge's office or the police department or anywhere. Last week, they had their second get-together after work. So the first time they went to Rhonda's, this last time they went to Blue Heron. And both those businesses there were accommodating to our women's group
Right.
that come down. It helps all the women from all the different departments get together in town. They get to, laugh for a few hours, probably making fun of me for 3 hours. But it's not only the workers, but it's also like the women council members and everyone. They go out and they socialize, and you can just tell there's joy in their job. and that's cool. And like Katie said, with the amount of applications they had for your spots, even for an admin assistant in our city hall, the amount of applications we had were ridiculous, and a lot of them were from in town. Right. We wouldn't have had that opportunity years ago. I mean, people do want to work. They see that it's a nice place to work, and we accomplish a lot. I say we, not me. I'm not doing the work. Our staff, our city of Horicon employees are accomplishing a lot of stuff. They want to get involved in that because they can see the fruits of their labor every day. Yeah. So I really like it. It really does feel like a community again, and it's really cool.
I've noticed that both of you, and you've done this several times now, we talk about community, but both of you have continuously used the phrase we for everything that's being done, be it at the school district level, the city level, or combined, which is phenomenal because a lot of times for leaders, it's, well, this is what I've done for you guys. This is what I've been able to accomplish. And I haven't been hearing that here, which is amazing. But obviously for people who want to be a part of that we, people who want to contribute to that we, people who want to know what is going on for all the we's that are in Horicon, how do they connect with you guys? Be it online, be it in person, be it otherwise, how do they get that information?
Well, for me, there are many ways to contact me on our website through the Horicon School District. That's the best way to get a hold of me. If you call the office and talk with our district office personnel, they'll put them through either to my voicemail or me if I'm available, email. People see us out and about in the community all the time too. So I hope that everyone knows that I want people to contact me, and I'm approachable.
So you guys aren't, jacket over the head running away when people see you in public?
Nope.
We both grew up here.
Yeah.
Where in the hell are we going to hide? And I appreciate when you said it's we. This, in Katie's case, this is her full-time job. This is what she does. She is intimately involved. She does the work. Me, this isn't my full-time job.
Right.
I might give it full-time hours in a week, but it's not my full-time job. I understand that everybody else does all the work. Cody, Chris, Chrissy, Mark, Aaron, Alex, and their staffs. Judge Bowman, Warner, all the department heads and their staff, they do all the work. I cheer them on. This job is, I have to make very hard decisions, and I have had to, personnel-wise. It sucks. But I'm not the one pounding every day. I'm the one cheering them on, giving them the tools they need, and working with surrounding communities, the state, the feds, trying to get them anything they can get and trying to get stuff for our residents. I represent the residents. But as a full-time public, I'm a full-time public employee, my real job. I understand how important it is to have a good relationship between the public you serve and the people that are doing the serving. And one of the things I really tried hard to do is have a really good relationship with our city staff. I mean, that if you don't, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going, and I almost always take their advice. I listen to them. I take their word for almost everything. There's some stuff that I know I can do, and that's my job to do it, especially the decision-making part. But every decision that I make always has I'm not going to say 2 cents, let's just say 99 cents on the dollar. Right. So, yeah, like I said, Katie's doing the work. Me, I'm their cheerleader. I take the hit for them. I take the fall for them. And that is what I signed up to do.
Throw out a little bit of personal thing there. My grandfather used to tell me all the time that if you surround yourself with the smartest, hardest working people there are, you're going to look like the smartest, hardest working person in the room. And it sounds like you guys have done that with your staffs at your respective locations.
And while that is my full-time job, I represent all of the people that I serve too, and they're doing hard work, very hard work all the time. So I'm proud to support them, and I'm proud to be their biggest cheerleader too. Yes, make the tough decisions, just like Josh said, but also what a great opportunity we have to serve the people around us. And we are only as strong as the people that support us too. So happy to have some of the most brilliant people working for us because that helps all of us do better work.
Oh, yeah.
As we're nearing the end of the show here, I want to take a few moments to highlight a few things that we talked about today that I want to make sure people remember. For one thing, for those who didn't hear us mention it, we mentioned earlier, obviously the kids are on spring break next week.
Yep.
So if you see them out and about, make them feel loved, make them feel welcomed.
Pick them up
as
on
always.
time Friday, 12:20 and 12:30.
There you go. Don't be late for those kids. And of course, pay attention if there shouldn't be, but knock on whatever proverbial wood I can find. If there's any inclement weather or whatever, pay attention for announcements about practices and such. Graduation May 16th. That's a big one. We're going to talk about it again, I'm sure, when you guys are in
Absolutely.
next. But keep your eyes on that. It's the kids love it when you show up to support them, which is phenomenal.
Yep.
I'm assuming the public's available to come in for the senior awards night and the scholarship night if they want to support as well.
Absolutely, and all that's on our website for dates and times.
Perfect. So make your way out there. I'm going to give these kids a shout out Thursday, tomorrow, March 19th, 7 p.m. The rescheduled Lightning Thief. Are there still some tickets available for that?
There are, and you will not be disappointed.
Sell it out, people. Let's get out there and really support the hard work they're doing. And last but not least, I'm going to mirror what you guys said and give an extra little bit of shout out to some of the hardest working people out there, the custodian staff, the crew, the maintenance crew out there that helps you guys at the school district, as well as the people at the DPW. Those guys and girls really know what they're doing. And you know, like you guys have said, they're often humble and won't brag about the hard work they do. But without that hard work, everything kind of grinds to a halt.
That's right.
So we appreciate what they do. And, of course, I appreciate you guys coming on and spending the time with me. The hour always goes by so fast.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Look
Thank
forward
you.
to do it again next month.
Sounds good.
Awesome. This has been a paid program. The advice and opinions expressed on the program are solely that of the City of Horicon and the Horicon School District, not necessarily WBEV or Good Karma Brands.